Hello and welcome back to Genshin Impact. Today I'm on my free-to-play alt account, which is now a year old. Well, to be exact, the anniversary was like 2 weeks ago, on the 18th of February, because that's when I started playing on this account last year, 18th of February 2023. So I'm a little bit late, but in this video I just want to go over how the free-to-play experience has been over this past year, and basically talk about the history of this account, show which characters I got and how far I got in terms of exploration and quests, and of course also how far I got in the Abyss. Now let's start with the history of this account, because there are some interesting things to talk about here. And yeah, let's just take a look at the character archive for this. Because if we go to Amber here, the first character that everyone gets in this game, you're gonna see on the bottom right here, it's actually the 6th of October 2020. So yeah, that was over 3 years ago, not 1 year ago. So did I lie about this account only being 1 year old? Well, not really. It is true that I started playing on this account 1 year ago, but at the same time, the actual creation of the account was back in 2020, not too long after Genshin was initially released. And yeah, there's a very simple reason for that. Because back then, when I first started playing Genshin in October of 2020, I rewrote for Jean specifically. I really liked Jean and I was like, yeah, it's just reroll. Back then it was actually worth it because we got a ton of Primo Gems in the weeks after the release of the game, as a celebration of the release. Like enough Primo Gems for, I think, about 50 wishes if I remember correctly. So yeah, rerolling back then was actually worth it. Nowadays I wouldn't do it anymore because you only get like 10 wishes, I think, when you unlock the wishing system. But back then it was worth it, and I actually managed to eventually get Jean on, which is now my main account, because this free-to-play account here is my alt account. I have two accounts. And yeah, basically, this was originally one of my reroll accounts. And even more than that, it's also kind of just the American side of my main account, because I'm on the Europe server on my main, and this is basically the same account, but America server. Because back when I rerolled, I accidentally set all the accounts to America at first, and then when I realized my mistake, I basically reused all the accounts that I already created for rerolling, but changed them to Europe, because save data is not shared between servers. So yeah, I eventually then got Jean on the Europe side of one of the accounts where I already had started on the America side. And then that America side of that account just lay dormant until last year. That's the story behind this here, this date. And I also, of course, got the other starter characters on the same day. And then I also think Noelle, since she's in the beginner banner. And I think I also even got Changling and Fischl. Yeah, all of them back on the 6th of October 2020. And then the first character that I got after starting to seriously play on this account a year ago was Barbara. As you can see, 27th of February 2023. So yeah, that's about 10 days after I started playing on this account for real. So let's just go over the characters that I got so far. Yeah, just quick overview here. All the characters that I do own or do not own. And basically, what I try to do on this account is to play characters that I don't play on my main account or don't even own on my main account. And a prime example for this is actually the very first limited 5-star that I got here, which is Ayaka. I got her on the 22nd of March 2023, which is my birthday, by the way. Won the 50-50 there, some birthday luck, to basically become an Ayaka main on this account. And yeah, Ayaka is a character that I've always liked. But on my main account, there were always just some other characters that I prioritized over her and that had banners very close to her banner. So I always just kind of skipped Ayaka, even though I did like her. But yeah, basically she then had a rerun not too long after I started this account, which was the perfect opportunity for me to actually finally roll for her. And I actually managed to get her, and ever since then I've basically been an Ayaka main here on the free-to-play account. But yeah, the first 5-star I actually got, which is kind of funny, is Jean. I got her on the 1st of March. That was from the standard banner, if I remember correctly, an early 5-star on the standard banner. Which is kind of insane, because like I said, this is the reroll account where I got Jean. So on both now, the European side and the American side of this account, both my main and my old, Jean was the first 5-star I got. Though I gotta say, here on this account I wasn't too happy about it. Even though I love Jean, like I said, the point of this account is to play characters that I don't play on my main account, and she is one of my most played characters on the main account, so I don't know if I'm ever gonna build her here. But pretty much on the same day, also 1st of March, I got Bennett, C1 even, which is a very important constellation for him. So yeah, that was kinda nice, having an early C1 Bennett on this account. He's also a character that I don't use on my main, because I just think that he is overrated. I know he's a great support, but it always annoyed me how everyone just seems to think that you can't do shit without Bennett in this game, so on my main account I refuse to use him. And I've 36'd the Abyss there so many times, like constantly over the last 2 years, without ever using Bennett. And yeah, so I have something to prove on my main account by not using Bennett, but here on my alt I was like, you know, the point is to play characters that I don't play on my main account, so here I actually allow myself to use Bennett. But yeah, I got early Bennett, Jean, and then not too long after Ayaka. Then I also won the 50-50 for Kazuha, which was really nice. Obviously he's also a great support, and another character that I don't have on my main account. And then just a short while after Kazuha, Wanderer had a banner, and I got him as well. And yeah, on his banner I actually got insanely lucky. I got like 4 early 5 stars. I lost the 50-50 2 times, but still C1 Wanderer in the end on a free-to-play account. With only like, I don't know how many wishes, but I don't think it was even enough to reach 2 pities. So yeah, I can't deny that I got a little bit lucky. So this is not really representative of the average free-to-play account, I guess. But there was also some bad luck lately, like for example when I rolled for Mist Splitter and just got the Aquila Favonia. That happened in January 2024. Or when it took me 60 wishes to just get 1 constellation for Faruzan on the Nahida banner recently. She was C4 thanks to the Wanderer banner, and when I tried to C6 her, it was hard. Let's just leave it at that. But I managed to get C6 Faruzan in the end, so all is well that ends well, I guess. And I also got Nahida C0 in that banner. But let's not forget about Nuvelet either. In between Wanderer and Nahida there was Nuvelet, who I also won the 50-50 for. So yeah, so far actually, if I think about it, every time I had to go to pity, I won the 50-50 on this account. And every time I lost the 50-50, it was an early 5-star, if I remember correctly. Kinda funny, but yeah, it allowed me to get some great characters. And yeah, even though I said I'm an Ayaka main, as you can see currently I'm not really using Ayaka in the overworld. Because I just want to play Nahida since I recently got her. And also Nuvelet, I got him months ago, but never really played him until now. So yeah, I just built a team around Nahida and Nuvelet for now. And I'm really enjoying how this team works. Like, a lot of blooms, a little bit of hyper bloom thanks to Fischl. It's fun. But yeah, I could also go over all the builds of the characters here, but to be honest, they are not that great. They are all pretty work in progress still. The characters that I have built so far are basically all the ones that you see on the top here, plus Diona. She just doesn't really fit on... Yeah, well, if I do this, then we can kind of see all of them, even though Nahida's face is cut off. But yeah, those 11 characters are the ones that I've built so far on this account, and I'm gonna continue focusing on these 11 for the foreseeable future. I don't really plan on rolling for any more new characters for now, because I really just have to focus on getting those builds finished up and yeah, get them to a point where I'm actually kind of satisfied with them, because yeah, even Ayaka, my supposed main here, still has a very work in progress build. Like for example, look at this circlet. It's bad. Look at these substats. Horrible. But this is actually the best Blizzard Strayer circlet that I could get so far. Yeah, my artifact luck has been pretty much the opposite of my gacha luck on this account. But honestly, that's nothing out of the ordinary. It's the same on my main account and probably for a lot of other people. Artifact RNG is just the worst. I think my best build character so far is Kazuha. I think he's the only one where I'm like kinda already satisfied with this build and don't feel the need to farm anymore for him in the foreseeable future. If you take a look at his artifacts here, he has some pretty decent substats. And of course I play him with triple EM because it's Kazuha, you know. But yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna go over all these builds, that would take way too long. Instead, I'm just gonna show how far I got in Abyss so far, to give you an idea of how strong my characters are. Okay, so here we are at the Abyss. Let's go in and see how many stars I got in the current rotation. As you can see, 4 stars on floor 9 to 11 and 6 stars on floor 12. Yeah, it wasn't too long ago that I actually cleared the Abyss for the first time on this account. It was during the same Abyss rotation. Actually, it was the previous rotation, but you know, it had the same enemies. And back when I cleared it for the first time, I only got 2 stars. So when it reset, I was like, okay, maybe I can get 3 stars now, because now I have C6 Faruzan, that could make a bit of a difference. But then I actually managed to get 6 stars. And Faruzan obviously played a role, but it's not just because of C6 Faruzan, it's also just I played so much better than in the previous rotation. Maybe because in the previous one I actually made a video on it. And when I record Abyss videos, I for some reason just always play so much worse than when I play on my own without recording. But yeah, anyway, 6 stars is pretty nice. That's not too far off from 9 stars. I think if I get a good circlet for my Ayaka and get some decent artifacts for some of the other characters, then I'm definitely gonna be able to 9-star the Abyss within the next year at least. Before the second anniversary of this account. Definitely. Though, to be fair, this Abyss is one of the easier ones, especially the first half. This one. Like, the second half with the bosses, especially the VNet, a little bit harder, but the first half, one of the easiest in a long time. Not gonna lie. My Wanderer team just made short work of the first half. So yeah, that's the Abyss, and not gonna lie, feels pretty nice to be able to clear Abyss on a free-to-play account. But if you want to know if you could also do that within a year without getting as lucky as I did on a gacha, then the answer is definitely yes, because it wasn't just luck. It was also a lot of saving up Primo Gems for specific banners. And yeah, there's just so much content in Genshin. I mean, just take a look at the map here. You have all this area to explore with a ton of chests and quests and all that stuff. And every little thing basically gives Primo Gems. Only a few at a time, but you know, if you take the time to just explore a lot and stuff, then you can definitely save up a lot of Primo Gems, even as a free-to-play, to get most of the characters that you want. Of course, sometimes you won't get the character that you're aiming for, but most of the time it's definitely possible, depending on how much you play the game and how much you explore. And you can see that I haven't even gotten to 100% on most of these areas yet. Like, the only one is here in Mondstadt. So yeah, I still have a lot of exploring left to do, especially in the newer regions. I basically mostly explored Liu and Mondstadt and also got all the Animoculi and Geoculi because that's kind of needed for the stamina to max it out, which you should do as soon as possible. But yeah, new regions, like I said, as you can see, have much lower numbers still. So there's still so much to do. And I haven't even uncovered this part of the map yet. I have uncovered Fontaine, but yeah, also the numbers, the exploration numbers, pretty low here still. And Inazuma as well. Take a look here, yeah. The numbers are just not that high, so there's still so much to do. Genshin offers so much content, and 95%? Okay, did not expect to see such a high number here in Inazuma, but if you think about it, it kinda does make sense, since I already did the Sacred Sakura Cleansing Ritual quest, which is like the main world quest on this island, and I recently gathered all the Electroculi on this island, so yeah, actually makes sense that this one is that high. But yeah, the rest definitely isn't, and I haven't even unlocked this island down here yet. What's it called again? Tsurumi Island, I think. But yeah, what I'm trying to say here is that at this point, we have such a huge map, so much content, hundreds of quests, thousands of chests and stuff. There are a ton of Primo Gems just lying around in the world. So even as a free-to-play, if you just do a bit of exploration, do all your dailies, and also participate in events on a regular basis, then you can actually get a very decent amount of Primo Gems without ever spending money on the game. Thanks to all the content that Genshin offers. And also the regular updates, really nice. And especially because of the regular updates, I think that it's actually even worth spending some money on the game. Though obviously everyone has to know for themselves if it's worth it for them. But from my experience as a low spender on my main account, where I mostly buy the Welcome Moon and Battle Pass, it's actually worth it. Because it's not even that expensive, the Welcome Moon. And, you know, I support the developers of this great game, who give us an update every few weeks. But in the end, it doesn't really matter if you're free to play or a low spender or a whale. This game is enjoyable either way. And I'm definitely gonna continue playing it on both of my accounts. Oh yeah, and I showed the exploration, but I should probably also, you know, take a look at my quests here, just to show how far I'm in the Archon quest. The next one that I have to do is Carrybird, because, yeah, this is basically the one after the Sumeru Archon quest, so I did all the Archon quest up to Sumeru. And they also give a decent amount of Primo Gems, and even some, Acquaint Fates, or Intertwined Fates. Which one are the purple ones? They give the purple Fates, you know. But yeah, in the beginning I kind of planned to rush through the Archon quests to unlock all the weekly bosses, but then they changed it a few months ago that you don't have to play all the quests to fight the weekly bosses, and since then I've just, you know, slowed down. And yeah, that's why I'm not in Fontaine yet. But I'm getting there, slowly but surely. But yeah, it's my free-to-play account. As you can see, you can get a lot of good characters and make a lot of good progress in just a year without ever spending money on the game. But like I said, even if you do spend money on the game, there's nothing wrong with that, because Genshin is great, and the developers deserve the support in my opinion. But yeah, before I end this video, there's one thing that I really want to do. Since, like I said, I am in Ayaka main, I prepared all the materials needed to triple crown her. Just so I can do this on this anniversary video. 1 year of this account, almost a year of being an Ayaka main, and now finally, she's gonna get a crown. And not just one, but 3 crowns. And we're gonna crown the burst first, because that's obviously the strongest part of her kit. There we go. Crown number 1, then the skill, crown number 2, and last but definitely not least, the normal attacks. There we go. Now I can truly call myself an Ayaka main. And yeah, that's basically it. I just want to talk about this account for a bit and show you my progress, show what it's like to be free to play for a year, and how much you can achieve even without any money in this game. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And have a nice day.